Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. So for this week, we are going to talk about the bibliographic control. So this part is very important for you guys because next semester also we are going to talk about this bibliographic control in the IMD213. So please make sure you do really understand what bibliographic control is all about. Alright. So, what is bibliography? In library science and information management, bibliography is a listing of publication that play a very vital role in organization of information and also access to information. So, the word bibliographies are from the Greek words known as a biblion, which is book, and graphian, to write. So, book to write, okay? So the term of bibliographic control refers to the operation by which recorded information is organized or arranged according to established standard and thereby made readily identifiable and retrievable. Recorded information is organized, so they organize information that have been collected, okay, and then arrange it according to the standard so that people can identify and retrieve it back later on. So it also describe items held in libraries or on database and also facilitate user to the access to the information based on Harvard Libraries glossary. Okay. Other definition of bibliographic controls are a process of organizing the information which enables a person to look for and obtain the information anytime, every time through needed through a systematic accessions. Okay? It also is a series of operations which are intended to create effective list of the various source of information. So why we produce bibliography? Why? Why we make a list of the bibliography itself? Okay. The purpose of bibliographic control is to list information sources in a systematic manner to enable us to become aware of what information is available and where it is it can be located. Okay, this is also the reason why we make a bibliography list at the back of your assignment known as a reference. Okay, it almost the same one. Okay, bibliography and also references. Okay, because what? Because we want to trace it back from where you get the information. So from is it from the authority person or not? Okay. So why we need to control? So the purpose of controlling a bibliography are as follow. The first one is to provide access to document or materials. Okay, you guys want to what? You want to provide the access to the document or the material itself. Okay, as also as a guidance in information searching to facilitate searching. Okay, for instance, you do your research and then you provide accompanied by with the references or the list of bibliography. Then I'm as a second researcher want to search or want to verify your content, so I just can go to the reference part, so just click not click, we can just copy right the citation there and then just paste, so to find out the real content, okay, the real or the first source of information, so I can just grab from there. Okay, it's an important element for effective reference services, definitely. Okay, for the part of the references, to promote research, okay, in certain area, to record and to expand human knowledge, and to avoid duplication in research. This is the most important ones lah, because we want to avoid duplication in research. We know that people already do this kind of research, so we just can do as some we can just add on certain of advancement toward that research. Okay, and then to promote cooperation in international and inter-institutional information trading and sharing. Okay, so this is the level of bibliographic control. We do have universal and international. So types of controlling involve UBC, universal bibliographic control. Okay, later on we are going to talk about all of these. And then national, which is national bibliographic control, NBC, and also organizational and individual for the bibliographic control level. Okay, this is the most below one, and then up to the national, and then the next is universal or international. Okay. So problems faced in bibliographic control. Okay, the first one is political stability. Definitely, political stability also affect the bibliographic control. Okay, how we are going to manage that kind of materials, it depends on the political parts. Okay, if there is no stability on terms of the political part, there is certain issue will be raised up towards that. Okay, and then geographical problems. Okay, the way of finding that kind of materials, how, okay, if we do have a certain difficulty to find out, okay, in the certain area of the places. Okay, technical skill stuff, definitely this is one of the part that need to face by the librarian. All right, if they do not have the technical skills, stuff is quite can be quite problematic. Okay, problems to the organization. And then economic problems also involved in the process of bibliographic controls. Language problems, okay, how the way you want to understand the content of the material itself. Okay, and also last one is availability of the publication. Okay, this is the problem faced in the bibliographic control. So now we move on to the Universal Bibliographic Control. What is it? So IFLA, International Federation of Library Association and Institution, has proposed to UNESCO that one major policy need to be established to create worldwide system aimed to control and exchange bibliographic information. So the purpose is to make a basic bibliographic data on all publication in all countries are available and acceptable to all users in the world. That's why IFLA create a system, okay, to be used worldwide. Okay, so people all over the world, we use the same system so that we can just control and exchange bibliographic information, no matters where you are been. Okay, so this is a part of the UBC. So concept of UBC was promoted by IFLA in early 1970s. Okay, under UBC, IFLA has proposed that UNESCO should adopt as major policy objective of the promotion of a worldwide system for the control and exchange bibliographic information. So UBC is one of the core program of IFLA, International Federation of Library Association and Institution. So UBC is a corporation that combines efforts in bibliographic information at national level of the country for creating an international network system. That is the process of developing the bibliographic control itself. Okay, they start from the below one, okay, which is within the country itself first. Okay, Malaysia with the Malaysia first, and then bring up to the next level so that everybody can just share, can just find out, can just copy and paste yang dibenarkan lah, okay, dalam in the bibliographic control. So two organizations that are concerned with the UBC are IFLA and also UNESCO. So the purpose of UBC is to make a basic bibliographic data on all publication in all countries available to all users in the world. That's why they do certain standards so that everybody can just follow that kind of standard. So if it comes from the different language, remember the problem faces in the bibliographic control, one of it is a language problem. So if the records come from the different language, okay, we can just understand, oh, this one is actually the names of the person, because they have a standard. At this part is the name, at this part is a place of publication, at this part is a we call as a title, for example. Even though it's not the same language as you. Okay, so milestone of UBC, there are 3 international conference or meeting held that has contributed to the establishment of UBC. These are follow, which is ICCP International Conference on Cataloging Principle in Paris 1961, International Meeting of Cataloging Expert Copenhagen 1969 IMCE, and also International Congresses on National Bibliographies November 1976 ICNB. So for the first conference, International Conference on Cataloging Principle in Paris 1961, is to rationalize the cataloging standards such as the standardization of the choice and form of heading, alright, and then to determine the main concept of the main entry, the choice of personal or corporate heading for entries, and also the use of uniform heading for consistency. Okay. Meanwhile, for the second meeting, okay, they have done to create a system for international exchange of information and establish and distribute a standard bibliographic description of each publication by national agency in the country of origin of the publication. So in the early 1970s, IFLA Committee on Cataloging established international office for UBC at the British Library Reference Division in London. Okay. While the third meeting, okay, they are talking about International Standard Bibliographic Description (ISBD). Okay, so all members are willingly to record their national publication according to the ISBD and agree to establish guideline for any printed bibliographic publication. They also discuss and give suggestion in the controlling of the printed and electronic bibliography. So the importance of UBC is to facilitate access to the document or material. Definitely, when you just provide all the materials within the standard, so it's easier for us to find out, okay, what kind of information that is available. Okay, to guide user when searching information. Okay, this also can helps in the reference desk. Okay, as a very important element for effective reference. Okay, this one. Okay, so before we start using what kind of platform that we can choose to find out the information, all right, UBC also helps us towards or to direct us towards that. Okay, recording and expanding knowledge, definitely to encourage research and development already, to avoid duplication in research and development, and also to encourage cooperation, exchange and sharing of information all over the world. Because of this standard, it helps us, okay, to share the information with others. Alright. So there are two levels of UBC, which is national and also international level. So the need of UBC now, libraries are considered to be an active force in the national development to have important contribution to make, such as to educational advancement, to cultural enrichment, and to scientific, technical, and economic progress. So libraries have become part of the community and national service. The collection of books are no longer regarded as scarce, but the collection of books must be made use so that it can serve the community needs. So librarians, okay, have extended their function as organizer of all sorts of the information. To perform this task, librarians need to know how to obtain information on all subjects that are relevant to the nation needs. Okay, so the task of librarian be expanded. So they just not only organize the information itself, but they also helps the user to find out, okay, to give the suggestion, to give the way for the user to find where is the relevant information towards that needs, toward the nation needs. Okay. So there are two requirements of UVC, okay, at the national level, to ensure that it's possible to make the bibliographic record of each new publication as it issues, either legal deposit, similar document regulation, government regulation, or so on and so on. So by following national legal deposit or similar government regulation, etc. Okay, so this is the legal deposit, okay, national legal deposit or government regulation, which everybody have or should follow, which is responsibility of publisher under Act 331, Deposit of Library Material Act 1986, and Preservation of Book Act 1966. Okay. So responsibility of publishers under Act 331, okay, under Act 331, publishers are required to deposit all library material published in the country to the National Bibliographic Centre. Alright, this is the act that push or the organisation, that push the publisher so that they can just make sure that everybody are send the information or the material itself to the National Library. Okay, National Depository Center normally being organized by the National Library itself within that country. So section 4, okay, in bracket 1, of the Act stipulate that 5 copies of printed material are required to be deposited within 1 month of its publication for books and 1 week for serials. Okay, while Section 4, okay, to stipulate that 2 copies of non-printed material are required to be deposited within 1 year of its publication. So this is the Act and the rules that everybody have to follow. And then Deposit of Library Material Act 1986 and also Preservation of Book Act 1966, which is National Depository Centre, okay, was established under Deposit of Library Material Act 1986. Okay, this centre is fully responsible for the enforcement of this act in the effort towards the building of the national collection of publication received under Deposit of Library Material Act 1986 and Preservation of Book Act 1966. So each national bibliographic agency should establish the authoritative bibliographic record for each new publication issued in the country. So publish those records as soon as possible, okay, within the time frame given, and distribute the record in a standard physical form, card, machine readable tape, and so on, and also receive, distribute, and exchange those records with other country and create a retrospective national bibliography. So you will see requirement at the international. The previous one is for the national, which is within the country itself. Now move on to the international level. So the agency are trying to cooperate to form a system that are acknowledged and accepted universally. And each national bibliography agency is the organization responsible for creating the authoritative bibliographic record of the publication of its own country. Okay. So each national bibliographic agency being responsible within the country and then bring up to the international level. So international standard is creating the bibliographic records through its content. So the element could be included in the bibliographic record, the style, functions, and its physical form, compatibility of mission records, and standardization of catalog guide. Okay. So that's all for this week. Okay, if you have any question, we can just ask within our class session. Okay guys, thank you. Happy watching.